Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into free automation tools that can help you streamline and grow your online business,
Yeah, those are my favorite kind of tools, free ones.
especially for busy online business owners like yourself.
Exactly. Who has time to do everything manually these days?
Right, and that's where automation comes in. So we'll be looking at a bunch of different tools for everything from social media to email marketing to customer service.
All based on this really awesome post I saw from blogwidow.com called Best Free Automation Tools for Online Businesses.
So let's jump right in. First up, social media. I think we can all relate to the struggle of trying to keep up with all the different platforms out there.
Oh yeah, it's a full-time job in itself.
It really is.
Yeah.
So tell me about Buffer Free.
Buffer Free is a great starting point if you're new to social media automation. It lets you connect up to 3 social profiles and schedule your posts in advance.
So I could create a whole week's worth of content at once and then just let Buffer do its thing.
Exactly. You set it and forget it. And consistency is key when it comes to social media.
Right, because you want to stay top of mind with your audience.
Exactly. The more you show up, the more people will remember you and trust your brand.
Now, what about for more visual platforms like Instagram and TikTok? Those seem a little trickier to automate.
You're right, they do. That's where a tool like Later comes in. Their free plan lets you visually plan and schedule your Instagram and TikTok posts.
Wait, hold on. Did you say free Instagram post scheduling? I thought that wasn't possible anymore.
Nope, it's still possible. Later is one of the few platforms that still offers it on their free plan. And it's super helpful because you can make sure your feed looks visually appealing and cohesive.
I can see why you'd need a different approach for visual content than you would for something like Twitter.
Absolutely. It's all about using the right tool for the right job.
So speaking of Twitter, what about TweetDeck? Is that still relevant?
Oh yeah, TweetDeck is still a powerhouse for Twitter users. Even on the free plan, you can manage multiple accounts, schedule tweets, track hashtags, and even monitor your mentions in real time.
Wow. So I could basically run my entire Twitter strategy from TweetDeck.
Pretty much. It's a great way to stay organized and engaged on Twitter.
I love it.
Well,
Now let's move on to email marketing. I know some people think email is dead, but I think it's still one of the most effective ways to connect with your audience.
I agree, email is definitely not dead, but it can be a real time suck if you're doing everything manually.
Tell me about it. I'm always looking for ways to streamline my email marketing.
Well, one great option is MailChimp. Their free plan is perfect for beginners or businesses with smaller lists. You get access to basic email automation features like welcome emails, newsletters, and even some segmentation options.
Segmentation. That's where you divide your email list into different groups based on their interests or behavior, right?
You got it. And that's super important because it allows you to send more targeted and relevant emails, which leads to better results.
So instead of sending the same generic email to everyone, I can tailor my messages to make sure they're actually interested in what I have to say.
Exactly. And MailChimp's free plan makes that super easy to do.
Now, there was another email marketing tool mentioned in the post. What was it? Sendinblue?
Yeah, Sendinblue is another good option. Their free plan is especially useful for transactional emails like order confirmations and shipping notifications.
Oh, that's something I always forget to set up. It would be amazing to have those automated.
It would definitely save you a lot of time and hassle.
Speaking of hassle, let's talk about customer service.
Ooh, yeah, customer service can be a real beast.
Right, because you want to be there for your customers, but you also don't want to be tied to your inbox 24/7,
Exactly. But luckily, there are free tools that can help with that too.
like chatbots, for example.
Yeah, chatbots are awesome. And Tidio has a really great free plan that includes a chatbot feature.
So I could have a chatbot on my website answering basic questions 24/7.
Exactly. And it can even pre-qualify leads for you.
Pre-qualify leads. Tell me more about that.
Basically, it can ask visitors a few questions to figure out if they're a good fit for your product or service. And if they are, it can collect their contact information so you can follow up with them later.
Wow, that's amazing. It's like having a virtual assistant working for you around the clock.
It really is. And it frees you up to focus on more complex customer service issues or, maybe even take a break.
Now, what if I want to offer live chat support in addition to a chatbot?
Well, there's Crisp. They have a free plan that includes live chat functionality.
Awesome. So I could have a chatbot handling the basic stuff, and then I could hop on live chat when needed to provide more personalized support.
Yeah, it's a great way to strike that balance between automation and human interaction.
So we've covered social media, email marketing, customer service. I'm feeling more productive already, but there's still so much more to explore. We'll be right back to continue our deep dive into these free automation tools.
Welcome back, everyone.
All right, so we just finished covering a whole bunch of awesome free automation tools for social media, email marketing, and customer service.
And I think it's safe to say we're both pretty impressed with what's out there.
For sure. But before we move on, I want to touch on something important that Blog Widow mentioned in their post.
Oh, yeah, the important considerations before jumping into any free tool.
Exactly. Because let's be real, free doesn't always mean it's the best option.
Right. You always want to weigh the pros and cons before you invest your time and energy into anything.
So let's start with limitations. What kind of limitations should our listeners be aware of when it comes to free automation tools?
Well, the most common limitation is probably feature restrictions. Free plans often have limited functionality compared to their paid counterparts.
So, like, you might not have access to all the bells and whistles.
Right. You might only be able to connect a certain number of social accounts or send a limited number of emails per month.
And that's why it's so important to carefully review the features of any free tool before you commit to using it.
Absolutely. Make sure it can actually do what you need it to do. Otherwise, you'll just end up frustrated.
And speaking of frustration, let's talk about scalability.
Scalability, that's a good one. It basically means, can the tool grow with your business?
So will you be able to keep using it as your business expands? Or will you hit a wall and have to switch to a paid plan or even a completely different tool?
That's the question you need to ask yourself. Because starting over with a new tool can be a real pain, especially if you've already invested a lot of time and effort into setting up the first one.
But starting with a free plan can be a good way to test the waters before you commit to paying.
Definitely, it's like a free trial. You can get a feel for the tool and see if it's a good fit for your workflow.
And if it is, then you can always upgrade to a paid plan later on.
Exactly. But if it's not, you can move on to something else without having wasted any money.
Smart. Now, what about integrations?
Integrations are super important because they determine how well a tool plays with other apps and services you're already using.
Because the whole point of automation is to make your life easier, not more complicated.
Right. You don't want to be stuck manually transferring data between different tools.
So before you choose a free automation tool, make sure it integrates with the other tools you rely on.
Yeah. Check if it connects with your email marketing platform, your CRM, your project management software, and so on.
Otherwise, you'll end up creating more work for yourself, not less.
And last but not least, we need to talk about support.
Ah, yes. Support, the unsung hero of the tech world.
Seriously, good support can make or break your experience with any tool, free or paid.
So what kind of support can our listeners expect from free automation tools?
Well, it really varies. Some companies offer excellent support even for free users.
But others might provide very limited support or even no support at all.
That's why it's always a good idea to check the company support policy before you sign up for a free plan.
Because you don't want to be left high and dry if you run into a problem.
Exactly. You want to know that there's someone there to help you if you need it.
So those are some important things to keep in mind when choosing free automation tools.
But even with these considerations in mind, I think we can both agree that free automation tools can be a real game changer for online business owners.
Absolutely. They can save you so much time and energy and help you focus on the things that really matter.
Like growing your business and serving your customers.
Exactly. But with so many options out there, it can be overwhelming to know where to start.
That's true. But don't let analysis paralysis hold you back.
The Blog Widow post had a great question that can help narrow down your choices.
Oh, yeah. What was it?
What one area of your business would benefit most from automation right now?
I love that question because it forces you to prioritize.
And instead of trying to automate everything at once, you can focus on the area where it will make the biggest impact.
Exactly. Start small and then scale it from there.
All right, so we've talked about the benefits of free automation tools and some important considerations to keep in mind.
What's next?
Well, we're going to wrap things up in just a moment with some final thoughts and encouragement for our listeners to get started on their automation journey. All right, so we're back. Hopefully by now you're feeling super inspired to start automating your online business.
I know I am. We've covered some really amazing tools today,
And the best part is they're all free.
which is incredible. There's no reason not to at least try them out.
Right. So to recap, we talked about social media automation with tools like Buffer and Later,
Email marketing automation with MailChimp and Sendinblue.
customer service automation with Tidio and Crisp,
And then we touched on workflow automation with Zapier and IFTTT and project management with Trello.
Ooh, that's a lot. But don't let it overwhelm you.
Yeah, the key is to start small.
Focus on one area of your business that could really benefit from automation right now.
And then once you've got that area running smoothly, you can move on to the next.
It's all about building momentum and creating a more efficient and enjoyable business for yourself.
And don't be afraid to experiment and try different tools.
Exactly. What works for one person might not work for another.
So it's important to find what fits your unique needs and workflow.
And remember, the world of automation is constantly evolving.
So stay curious, stay informed, and always be on the lookout for new and innovative tools that can help you streamline your business.
All right, so before we wrap up, I want to leave our listeners with a little challenge.
A challenge. I like it.
Think about that one area of your business that you're really struggling with right now,
The one that's taking up too much of your time or causing you the most stress.
and then commit to finding and implementing at least one automation tool that can help you improve that area.
It could be something as simple as setting up a chatbot to answer frequently asked questions.
Or using a tool like Zapier to automate a task that you're currently doing manually.
Whatever it is, just take that first step.
And then watch as your business becomes more efficient, more productive, and more enjoyable to run.
And of course, if you have any questions or need help finding the right tools for your business,
Feel free to reach out to us on social media.
we'd love to hear from you.
All right, that's it for today's deep dive into free automation tools.
Thanks for joining us.
We hope you learned a lot and feel empowered to start automating your online business.
And until next time, work smarter, not harder.